What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Lowdown Show 100, right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, the 100th episode of the Lowdown Show, the show where we talk about NXT every single week in No Holds Barred, and anything we say, pun intended. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at No Holds Barred WP. You can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. You can also follow my special co-host today, which I'll let him do his little Twitter intro later on. And you can also follow the podcast on Instagram, No Holds Barred WP. You can follow us on iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher Radio. Spreaker's a glorious podcast app available for all Android and Apple devices. It is a free to download, free to make a profile, allows you to listen to us live when we're doing the Lowdown Show. Usually on there. Today is YouTube, but usually we're live on there, and you can chat with us live with that app as well. A really cool app. Go give that a download if you want to watch any video versions of the podcast. Located right here on YouTube, youtube.com/NHBWR. Hit that subscribe button, that bell icon for all upload updates. I am your host, as always, right here on the Lowdown Show, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters. And guys, I'm joined by a former co-host of mine. He is the Blissful Boss, Mr. Corporate himself. I'll give him that old intro. Blissful Boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Cooper Cappy. Oh my god. Oh god. And I really hope people heard that. We had some Skype issues before, of course. OBS, YouTube, Skype issues go hand in hand, but that's probably the best thing. I'm Back by Eric Bischoff. Oh, man. If you guys are here in the chat, I can see some people in the chat right now. Let us know if you can hear Corporate Cappy, right, and all the sound issues are okay. I want to get that out of the way before we continue and go on here with Lowdown Show 100. So give me an A-OK in the chat that everything is going good, please. So we got That Ass Podcast in the chat. What's going on? Tiffany from That Ass Podcast, great relationship-based podcast. Go check them out, guys. Has a special guest on their That Coffee podcast. Great episode. Go check that out. Okay, they said they hear you. Good. And we also got the Secret Detective, who is CupidGirl125, a.k.a. on Twitter. What's going on, Cupid Girl? So they heard that you and the theme song, Corporate Cappy.
Perfect. Good. That's what I wanted.
What's going on, man? Welcome back for this 100th episode. Monumental episode here of the Lowdown Show. We've made it through 100 episodes of this thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I made it to about 96.
96, but we were, for the most part, before that, it feels like 100 because even before that, we just called it a regular review and never had a name for our actual show.
Oh, do you have some of those old logos?
Oh, trust me, I have a slide ready to go for this this episode. Trust me, you're gonna love this. So, guys, welcome to episode 100 episodes of the Lowdown Show. This is going to be a fun show. We're going to go over some fun facts and some history of the Lowdown Show. We're going to go over the contests for you guys out there if you're watching right now on the video screen. I'm going to transition quickly to the prizes that will be given out today. Basically, how this is going to go down is I'm going to think of a random WWE trivia question. First person to DM myself or Corporate Cappy, or you can just actually, make it easier. DM, because it's on the layout here, right there, if I can point properly, right there at No Holds Barred WP. First person to DM the answer will win one of these prizes. And we got 4 awesome prizes to give out today. Here they are right on the screen. We got this is the grand prize. It's Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens WWE plaque. It's from SummerSlam of a couple years ago when they teamed up and there was still the Festival of Friendship was still going on, so we got a plaque from them. Any shirt from Collar and Elbow brand, great wrestling branded shirt, so any shirt can be yours. You let me know, and I'll send it to you. And any shirt, NXT shirt from Extreme Wrestling Shirts, so you got to pick a NXT-based shirt, and that will be yours as well. Or you can win an NHB WP mystery crate. Ooh, what can be inside? I wonder what. It could be anything. It could be some great wrestling merch, or could it be a roll of toilet paper?
Ooh. You mean Backlash 2018?
Yeah, it's actually like a roll of toilet paper, and it's got the logo like through each ply of toilet paper. It's got the logo on each one. And they got Roman Reigns in some of them. You got Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns. Because, I would say Brock Lesnar, but he wasn't fucking there. Of course, the guy's our Universal Champion. The guy doesn't show up to a pay-per-view. I'm sorry. He wrestles four times a year, which is actually pretty cool, Brandon. I don't know if you know, Corporate Cappy. The new feature for 2K19 coming up in October, it's pretty interesting. Brock is a really cool Universe Mode feature. It allows you to have Brock Lesnar in Universe Mode, but you can only use him 4 times a year.
Really?
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty sweet. I can't wait for 2K19 Universe.
And he
mode.
has like 3 moves. He does
Yes,
too.
yes, yes, yes. You can only have a 2 or 3 minute match. It's up to you, but you can only use him 4 times in a calendar year on Universe mode.
That's about right.
Joke, fucking joke. Oh, well, we got Salrax in the chat. What's going on, Salrax? He's the one that made that beautiful intro screen and this beautiful layout. Thank you very much, guys. Go hit up Salrax if you need any logo work done. This guy is freaking amazing. Thank you as Allrax. Thank you as Allrax.
Believe me, I already have because.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not good with it yet, so I'm gonna definitely need some kind of help with that sort of stuff.
So before we go anywhere, guys, if you know and you've been a fan of the Long Show, you know who Corporate Cappy is. So he's actually veered off on his own venture, and he's got his own thing going. It's actually really sick. So I'm actually going to let Corporate Cappy plug his own thing right now. So Corporate Cappy, take it away, guys.
A plug?
A plug. Not saying you're a plug. I'm just saying you're your plug in general.
Well, basically what I do now is I do hobby breaks and collectibles, Cappy's Hobby Breaks Collectibles on YouTube. I break cards. I do unboxings of new merchandise that I get or pickups, and I also do current collection videos. So they're coming out slowly, but they're coming out. I've got 3 videos so far. There's a couple more that are currently in Gold Dust's Final Cut Pro getting made. And then, get them out for you guys.
And guys, go check him out. He's at the same. If you already have him on Twitter, you have him already on Twitter. If you don't, it's at Breaks with Cappy, I believe, right on Twitter. So go give him a follow. We got Brian Condi here, and we all know who that is. B for awesome. What's going on, Brian? Corporate went heel, he says. I think he was always a heel. Weren't you always a heel, though?
Yeah, I'm always. I'm
He's the
back.
heel.
I'm a heel for one night. I'm like Jericho. I'm a babyface in my own podcast, and then I'm a heel when I come over to WWE.
And yes, Tiff, as you can see in the background later, I've tacked the poster you sent me. Thank you very much for that. It's up there, and like I said, it was one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. She got me a poster for it, so thank you very much for that, Tiff. So, guys, I mean, you guys really want to know what we're going to really big do on episode 100. So we got the contest already, and you know what? We're going to start off fun here. We're going to start off with some fun facts, and I was told by Cappy before we went on the air, interesting clips from the Lowdown Show history. So I'll read the first fun fact here. I got the list over here. The list I got here of the Lowdown Show. So the first episode of the Lowdown Show, the pilot episode, episode number 1, actually debuted on Friday, February 5th, 2016. So almost almost 2.5 years to the date that we did this show. And the first episode included a Raw and SmackDown review. It was hosted by myself and yours truly co-host Corporate Cappy. We also had our old co-host at that time. He's an even older co-host, has been on the show in a long time. No Cell Phil, which I really wanted him to get on the show. I totally forgot to reach out to him. I really meant to, but I'm going to get No Cell Phil on the show once again. Maybe at 200, we'll see.
Before you go any further, can you wrench me so I can become an admin so I can post my link?
Oh, I got to wrench you. That's right.
Yep.
Got to do one of those wrenchy things. I got to do that. How do I do that? Participants. I don't see you. How do I do that?
Do I have to post something first?
I think you might have to.
Okay.
No, I'll wrench you.
There you go.
There you are. I can put user in timeout. I could just put you in a timeout there. There you go. You're now a moderator. What did you put anyways? Gender is God. Of course you did. Oh, boy. Gender is God. And I don't miss those.
I bet you don't.
I don't talk about gender anymore. Straight NXT. Baby.
Baby.
Right there. Adam Cole right there with his new North American Championship in the layout there.
I'm not even going to talk about those guys. Especially Roderick Strong. He really disappointed me.
Mm-hmm. Brian, I became an NHB mark thanks to RTM Wrestling. You guys are both to blame for my WWE podcast addiction. Well, sorry for that. But, RTM Wrestling, that's one of the podcasts we first started to follow and listen to.
From the UK.
From the UK, our boys across the pond there. And girl. I got Emma over there too. And girl. Gotta say and girl. But anyways, Lowdown Show, fun facts. So we started with the Raw and SmackDown review on February 5th, 2016. We were still doing reviews before that, but we never actually had a name for a show until we named it that time. And history of the name of the show, pretty easy. We named it after one of our favorite WWE superstars, D'Lo Brown, which did you get to meet at WrestleCon?
No.
Okay, he wasn't there. That's right.
His booth was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was.
It was named after his finishing move, the Lowdown, one of the best frog splashes of all time. Not the best, but one of the best ones.
Oh, what do you mean not the best? Are you kidding me?
You can argue with Eddie Guerrero and others that have pretty good frog splashes.
The way that he did the whole movement and how high he would get, it looked like it would hurt.
Yeah, that's what we named the show. The Lowdown Show, off his finishing move, the Lowdown. D'Lo Brown. Interesting feuds. I want to talk about the feuds that were going on at the time we did the episode 1. So brace yourself for this. It was right before WrestleMania 32. So we had Lesnar, Reigns, and Ambrose tying in with each other. Eventually, Ambrose and Lesnar would have that really shitty no disqualification match at 32, and Reigns would get his second coronation at WrestleMania 32, winning the WWE title from Triple H. Kalisto and Del Rio were feuding with each other.
Oh yeah, that was
Kalisto was U.S. champion. Charlotte was not putting over the bells, but taking the Bellas down after injuring Nikki and then going after Brie, asserting her dominance as the new Divas champion, or the Divas champion. The Wyatt family was destroying Big Show and Kane at the time because they just had the new addition, the new Wyatt member, Braun Strowman, who's now bigger than ever. This is back when Strowman was wearing those like yellow pants with like the patches, and he had all that hair, that bushy hair. So they're really different Braun Strowman from then to now. And even before that, he was part of that the Rosebuds of Adam Rose. There was no brand split, so SmackDown was basically a repeat of Raw back then. So I don't know why we even reviewed it, but it was worse. We had that. Remember the fake crowd noise, the whole shebang. Like SmackDown was just a mess, all in all, back then.
That's horrible.
Yeah, podcast wise, we came a long way since then. Back then, we were recording our podcast on a mobile phone with voice memo in a room with myself, Cappy, and Phil in it, surrounding the phone, recording it that way. That's how we first started podcasting. I mean, you got to start somewhere. That's how we first started podcasting. You remember those days of everyone meeting at my house and getting the podcast done and all that stuff. Oh boy, those are some days right there, man. We've come a long way. Eventually, ended up finding a little device or little attachment, which I believe I still have over here. It might be somewhere. I think I might have misplaced it. It's a mess over here. But it's like a little device about yay big, and it's called the Rode SC6. Oh wait, I got the box for it right here. Found it. And actually, the device is inside it. So there, you got it right here. So here it is. Make sure I can see myself on camera here. Right here, the Rode SC6. This would plug into our mobile device. And you guys see the 2 microphones and a headset. This would allow us to have 2 microphones. So when we got this, no Phil left the podcast, so it was just myself and Cappy. We would plug our headsets into there and just do the podcast via headset. It took so long to find this device. You have no idea, especially in Canada where you really can't find really a lot of shit up here. They had a special order this from the States, and it took like a month and a half to get. I went through like a million electronic places, music stores. Finally found this music store that actually would carry this thing, and we finally got it, and it was actually pretty good. It worked out. We sounded a little bit more professional. We had the mic work going. But yeah, we came a long way since the recording on voice memos. And then we eventually came to the full studio setup with the laptop. And then we were just posting on YouTube. So originally, even our regular podcast would always be on YouTube. We never had any other outlet. It was strictly just YouTube was your listening purposes for our podcast back then. Eventually, we found Spreaker, which was a glorious app. While I was scrolling through the podcast forums, just like randomly reading stuff, and I found someone talking about Spreaker, and I'm like, okay, well, let's give it a shot, right? Fantastic app. Again, like I said before in the intro, allows you to do live shows. You can do group chats. Even connects you to your iTunes and other sites that you want to post to. It automatically posts on Twitter for you and Facebook and YouTube. Really, really sick app and really sick website I found through Spreaker, and actually Corporate Cap is using it for his podcast portion of his new show. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to think anything else. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. So this is really cool. I wanted to go over this. Previous show segments that we've had on this show. So currently we have the lowdown, or sorry, the list of 10. Which is our superstar, or my superstar moment, or superstar or moment of the week, where it gets a perfect 10 rating, or it makes the list. Then we had fan tweets, where we're still doing the show. We read your fan tweets out there that you tweet into the show. We used to have WWE headlines on the show, like near the end of the Lowdown show when we were first doing it, where we just quickly go over some news and rumors that were going on in the WWE during the week, and we were doing these podcasts around the end of the week, so it kind of worked out. And then the most famous segment on our show that we've had to date, and I'll never forget it, was the Luke Gallows polls.
Great segment.
Where we read polls from a Twitter account called @FunWWE Polls, and it was like a mix of comedic and serious related WWE polls, and we always look forward to those polls, and we always had a good time with those.
I loved reading those.
Yeah, that was probably one of the funnest segments that we've ever done on this show. Really good.
I'm thinking back to even before the Lowdown, when No Sell Phil was still on the show. We did like Sign Masters and top 5 moves of the week and stuff like that.
Yeah, little tiny segments where they didn't last long. But we're trying stuff out. You start somewhere in the podcast. You try different things. You see if it works. It doesn't work. You get rid of it, right? That's all.
We even reviewed Main Event at one point.
Yeah, we did, because one of the Main Event episodes we did at one point actually has like over 1,000 views on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck? It's because we put John Cena. If you put John Cena in the thumbnail on anything on YouTube, you know you're gonna get freaking views on that. Anyways, some more interesting facts about the Lowdown Show. Our most viewed Lowdown Show video on YouTube. So not any other thing we did. So it has to be strictly the Lowdown Show. Was actually on July 21st, 2016. It has right now 1,030 views and 19 likes and no dislikes. It was a WWE draft review, and there was some more stuff on there. We went over injuries and other stuff. But that's the most viewed Lowdown Show on YouTube right now. The most listened to episode on Spreaker, and this is going to shock you. So it was the Lowdown Show Brand Wars Week 35 in December of 2017. So not this past December, the one before that. It has 127 plays on Spreaker.
For what?
And 52 downloads. And it also, you know what it included in this episode? Because I looked at the theme songs that were played through in the episode. Luke Gallows polls was part of this episode, so we must have had a really good Luke Gallows polls during that episode. To have 120, that's the most played thing we actually have on Spreaker to date, is that 127 plays.
Hang on, what day did you say that was?
In December of 2017.
But does it say?
No, it says December on the right, but you have to go down where the title of the show was Lowdown Show Brand Wars Week 35.
Week 35. Okay. I'm going to go find this episode while you continue talking.
So the last remaining fun fact of the Lowdown Show, this is pretty interesting. It's not really a fun fact. It's what I'm going to show you guys if you're watching on YouTube right now. Pay attention to the screen. I'm going to actually wait for Corporate Cap because he's got to see this because he's going to laugh at this. So I've assembled a collage of the previous Lowdown Show logos. I know we only have, believe it or not, we've gone through a ton of logos, normal logo wise, in this podcast. Lowdown Show wise, we've only gone through 4, believe it or not, 4 Lowdown Show logos. And I have them up on. I'll have them up on the screen in a second. I just want to wait for your reaction to that Week 35 episode when you're scrolling down. It shouldn't be too far down.
Yeah, there's 3 of them though. You put Week 35 3 times.
Oh, I'll have to go back.
Oh wait, hang on. Never mind. I found it.
Should say December on the right. 127.
Oh my God, the thumbnail for this one You're gonna die.
Okay.
It's Kevin Owens and Jericho. Like I think it was when they were feuding with Reigns.
Oh God.
And then the other one is it shows Dean Ambrose tagging in James Ellsworth.
Oh God.
So Ellsworth equaled the ratings. I was right.
Okay. Well, I'll go with that. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be pretty funny.
All right, I'm on the.
Okay, he's on the thing, so it'll eventually transition. So for you out there watching right now, these are all the previous Lowdown Show logos that we've done on this show. So here we go. I've transitioned it over. You can see now in the top right will be the very first logo we ever did. Was the top right, and that was actually a version of our original logo we did as well. You got the two chairs and the No Holds Barred Wrestling podcast in the middle, and the crappy Raw and SmackDown review thing in the bottom too. But that was the original logo in the top right. We eventually transitioned to the left, which is Lowdown Show Brand Wars. We labeled it Brand Wars, where we did Raw and SmackDown review. There's a little 205 logo, which this is an updated version of that, but when we first transitioned to it, it looked like that. We had the Raw and SmackDown font there for Brand Wars. After that, eventually, we got rid of the Brand Wars name. We dropped the name. We went down into the Lowdown Show, just Raw and SmackDown review. You can see down at the bottom there. That was after the draft, and we had a brand split, so we can talk about both shows. We were excited about that, and they updated the logos, the new Raw logo and the new SmackDown logo. So we started talking about that more because we had two different things to talk about, and SmackDown wasn't shitty anymore. And then eventually we just got sick and tired of talking about the main roster, and we went over just to NXT. We decided to, quote-unquote, remix the Lowdown Show, and we call it Lowdown Show Remix because we talked about NXT, and you can see there the original Lowdown Show Remix logo with the NXT symbol and the remix right next to the X. Quite interestingly, or quite cleverly put right next to that X. So those are the vintage logos of the Lowdown Show. Now, I have a shit ton of ones from the podcast, which I'll eventually do. I think I might just do a quick episode one time of just all the logos that we've done. There's so many goddamn logos that I did. My OCD goes off the charts. That's why I've gone into Salarax and done business with him, because he does their stuff so good and better than me. I get OCD, and I think shit just looks bad sometimes, and I go nuts. So clearly you can see my OCD is freaking crazy by looking at these logos here. So those are all the vintage logos of the Lowdown Show. So, again, come a long way.
I actually like the one in the top left with the fists.
Yeah. That was actually something I just Googled. And I found it on Google, and I kind of did some Photoshopping around. And I faded the SmackDown and blue into the blue hand and the Raw logo into the red hand. The Brand Wars one was when SmackDown Live was the A show. Yeah, I remember when they first did the draft, SmackDown was actually a really good show. Oh, we got James in the chat. What's going on, James McGrady, or a.k.a. Jumbo 123, or Jumbo Ref 123 on Twitter. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining in. So yeah, that's all the fun facts I have about the Lowdown Show so far. I know you said you had some snippets, maybe.
I got a clip to play you.
Oh God.
Give me a second. Let me grab it.
Okay, so Cobra Cappy's got an interesting clip here to play from a previous episode, I'm assuming, of the Lowdown Show. I have no idea what it is, so I'm interested to see.
And I've got 4 of them, so I'll play one, and then we can keep I'll play 4 during the whole show.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the first one.
The first clip.
Right there. Ziggler says he wasn't impressed by Nakamura and tells them to watch what he does to Sin Cara tonight. Sin Cara. That's a big statement right there. Wow, man. You beat Sin Cara definitely mean, you're going to beat Shinsuke. You beat Sin Cara? Oh, you're going to beat Shinsuke. No problem. Sin Cara is just as great as Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's where it all started. That's where it all. When you guys hear his banter about Sin Cara and being credible, that's where it stemmed from. From when that segment that Dolph Ziggler had about wanting to prove himself that he could face Nakamura. And he's like, I'm gonna go out there and face Sin Cara. I'm gonna face Sin Cara because that'll make me more credible to face Shinsuke Nakamura, because you can't go against good competition until you beat Sin Cara.
Yeah, I can't take Nakamura credible because he didn't beat Sin Cara, you know.
Oh man, I can't. Oh, I still remember
Yep.
that. My God. That's
The
great.
greatness of Sin Cara was born.
Oh my God. I can't believe that. And we still joke about it. We did it on the one part of our vlog. That's what I'm trying to get at. One part of our vlog where we had the Sin Cara card. And it wasn't a credible trip without us, but we brought Sin Cara along with us for the whole trip, man. That card was with us the whole time, so it was a credible trip now.
And then we saw him at general admission at Access, and we just didn't even meet him. It was like,
Yeah.
you know, I would have made the trip credible if we would have met Sin Cara.
Right.
He had like nobody in his line. I felt kind of bad for him, but but yeah, there's the first clip of 4 to be played at some point.
Oh God, I'm not looking forward to the other ones. I'm kind of scared. But yeah, we've come a long way from our first Lowdown show episode, even from our original episode of the Lowdown show. So it'll be interesting to see what the next 100 episodes bring and how many logos I go through, because you know my OCD is just out of control. So. You know, I'm trying to get another trivia question going for the first one, but not having any luck finding any on the internet here for some reason. The internet wants to give me some crappy, useless trivia questions. But yeah, I know you guys want to know about the Skype call-ins. That will be till the end of the show. So if you guys want to call into the show, stay for the end, and we can chat some wrestling, chat whatever you guys want to talk about. I do also have some Twitter questions and Twitter things. You know, let's do that while we wait for, or while I look for trivia questions. Let me pull it up here for us. We got some general questions. I asked you guys to send in some general questions for the podcast, and we can read on the air and answer for you guys. So let's go right into it. Let me scroll down to the first one. Once I pull it up here. Come on now. There we go. Okay. So, first question comes through from X Gillies. Greg the Gamer. Used to be called X Gillies. Greg, one of our Twitter fan of the year from last year for 2017. He tweets as best moments with each other on the podcast. Well, that Sin Cara one was pretty good. That was a pretty good one. On the podcast in general, I think one would have to be, and not a lot of people know it because I don't know if you can still hear it. If it's in one of the episodes, I'm pretty sure we have it posted, Cappy. This was back when we were doing the voice memos of the podcast, so just, you know, huddled around a phone. And at my old house, we did it in the living room where it was hardwood floor. And I think you know where I'm going with this, Corporate Cappy. We had hardwood floors, so anything made noise. Anything that would come in and make noise would make noise. I own a dog who's got some claws, okay? And she decided to wake up right in the middle of the podcast. She's staring right at both of us, like with wagging her tail. And I'm trying to get her to stop and just to go. And she kept coming closer. And all you can hear was like the clacking of her feet in the background as we're trying to do the podcast. And I was like, "Are you kidding me, dog?" Oh, that thing still that moment still rings out, or it's still like buried in my head. Another one would have to be it was me, you, and No Self Phil. I think we had the TV on, and they were playing. I think it was an episode of Bar Rescue or Cops or something, and it just showed. I think it was Bar Rescue because we were sitting there recording, and it showed this giant horse going into a bar and just destroying shit, just fucking breaking shit. And everything was going flying, and we were laughing mid-podcast. Like I don't know if we were recording or we stopped recording, but we were pissing ourselves laughing. That sticks out as well. Other than that, just the countless times we've had technical issues with this podcast, just where we've come from, and just going from a voice memo to doing this now, and just you always got to start somewhere, and you eventually get somewhere with a podcasting or in podcasting in general. Also, he puts, do you think Roderick Strong will be contending for the NXT title once Bobby Fish returns to action and fights alongside Kyle O'Reilly. Or maybe he goes after Adam Cole in a heel turn.
I don't want to talk about Roderick Strong.
I'll answer the question, Gilly. I see Roderick Strong. It's either gonna go one of two ways. It's either gonna push Roderick Strong out and he's gonna go back to a face, or I see more likely Roderick Strong trying to take over Adam Cole's leader spot, and maybe they push Adam Cole out of the group, and then eventually it becomes Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong for that a North American Championship. That's, I think, the direction that's going to go into. Next set of tweets, Tiffany from Dadass Podcast puts, congratulations on 100 episodes. Do you think Gargano and Ciampa feud is going to main event at TakeOver Chicago? And how would you like to see this match this time? Cell match, question mark? Yes, because that's exactly what I said in one of the episodes of the Lowdown Show a couple weeks ago. I honestly think that Gargano and Ciampa are headed towards the first ever NXT Hell in a Cell match, and it's going to happen at NXT TakeOver Chicago. And I would put that as the main event because that's still the hottest feud going on NXT. I mean, there's a lot of good feuds going on NXT right now, but that is literally the main feud. Because of, like, I mean, look, Ciampa and Cassius Ohno ended the show this week. You know it's their main feud when these two, or a guy like Gargano, is ending the show. I think this is heading towards a cell match. I would pick NXT Chicago, and I would put it as the main event.
Hell in a Cell.
Like, first ever NXT Hell in a Cell match, you got to have Gargano and Ciampa. You have to. You can't. Like, who else are you going to put in there in a first Hell in a Cell match? Like, I'm going to put Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler so you can scare the shit out of Dakota Kai some more.
Well, we'll put Chris Starr and Riley Apex against somebody.
Determine who gets an NXT contract. Who gets theirs renewed.
Yeah, their jobber contract.
Also, she puts Ricochet and Velveteen are going to be match of the year. Thoughts? Yeah, we'll get into the NXT review there, Tiffany, but thank you for that. I'll go through that. I'm not going to say anything until we get to that NXT review because great opening to the show this week. So we got Michael Chow sending in tweets at Michael Chow TV. He does a wrestling podcast too, guys. I think he's switching over to once a month, so go still check him out. He's on Spreaker. He's on Twitter. Go give him a follow. He was, congrats to episode 100. I started listening to the podcast after your famous draft episode 2 years ago. And the one that currently still climbing in views has 53,000 YouTube views. For whatever reason, the shittiest YouTube video I've ever put together has 53,000 views.
It took you like 8 days to do because your computer was terrible at that time.
Oh, I had a terrible desktop computer. That's another memory. I used to upload our podcast with a shitty desktop computer that wouldn't fit Windows 97 standards. So,
and then it would make that little sound when it would upload.
Yeah, it sounded like it was like overheating, like something was gonna blow up or something. But yeah, he puts, it's so great to see how much NHBWP worldwide has expanded. Sorry I couldn't attend, but here are some questions. Number one, favorite episode out of 100. Whew. Our favorite Lowdown Show episode. Oh, I
don't think it was a Lowdown episode, but my favorite are the Slammies every year. That was my favorite show.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree. I don't think I really have a favorite Lowdown Show episode. Maybe the first one, because I was very excited to get that show going, and we had the sickest we were so high on the name. I still love the name, but we were so like, oh yes, Lowdown Show. We love D'Lo Brown. Like, it's such a sick name. So I think I like the pilot episode.
Draft video.
The draft video kind of falls into Lowdown Show category, but I agree with you with the Slammies. I like those episodes. Those are really well done. Next question: current favorite male, female, and tag team superstar. So current, obviously Kevin Owens, my boy. I'm wearing the shirt in the video. Kevin Owens show. Female, Paige, even though she's a GM, technically not active roster. Maybe one day we'll see what happens. I'm still going with Paige. And tag team, I love the Usos and how much they're not my favorite tag team. I do love the Usos. I'm still a club guy. Too sweet. I'm a fucking mark. Yeah, I know it. But I'm still a club guy.
What about Undisputed Era?
Yeah, I mean, if he's counting NXT, this is a whole different level here. Cause then, I'm still going Kevin Owens, still going with Paige, and I would have to go Undisputed Era for tag team. 'Cause that's if we're including NXT, I'll say Undisputed Era. If not, then I'm sticking with the club. Too sweet. He puts mine for Michael Chow, AJ Styles, Mandy Rhodes. Sorry, Alexa, and the Street Profits.
What if Paige doesn't count?
If Paige doesn't count, Tainara Conti, my girl. Still sticking with her, man. She's not getting this big push. Maybe they have plans for her, but I'm still sticking with her.
Snubbing Carmella.
Yeah.
Bailey. Bailey sucks.
I've lost interest in them, to be honest. I know Carmella's a champion now, but I've lost interest.
Yeah, well, her match with Charlotte was one of the worst matches I've ever seen. So.
And then Tainara Conti's got this big judo background, and she can actually wrestle. I'm just hoping they have plans for her. So yeah, what about you, Cobra Cappy? I think I know half of it. Or at least one part. Actually, one part you're probably going to be very down the middle for. So I'll let you take it away.
I'm going to go with Titus Worldwide for tag team.
Ooh.
Male, Jinder Mahal. And female, Tamina.
Wow. I mean, those are good picks. Solid picks. I like it. Tamina, one of the greats, I guess. You can call her one of the greats. She's getting pretty old now, so she definitely Hall of Fame ballot soon, I'm guessing, right?
And Jinder Mahal's resume speaks for itself.
Guy is so credible. I don't
he is. Roman Reigns is putting him over now, so he's got to be good. Okay, so my real list, obviously, it's 1A, 1B, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. Not even close for anyone. That's way above anything else. And then tag team, I don't know. Not really a big tag team guy. I wouldn't say I have a favorite tag team, but I do like the Street Profits a lot.
They're such a hype team, man. They even though they haven't been getting the right push now, they're so hype. I love them.
Yeah. I like the Usos, the work they're doing. The Revival's the best wrestling tag team in the world when they actually get to wrestle, not like they do on Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
And male superstar right now, Chris Jericho, but if he doesn't count, AJ Styles. Or Ty Dillinger, obviously.
Dillinger, yeah, he's a boy, he's a hometown boy, but I'm such a fucking Kevin Owens lifer, man. I'm never gonna pick a unfavored than Kevin Owens. He's my boy. So next question by Michael Chow. Dream match you'd like to see? He puts, mine is either AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. I think it's everyone's dream match, number one. And The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think they have to do The Rock, Roman Reigns eventually.
Oh.
Eventually it's going to happen, man. Something's going to, it's got to, but it's only got to be when Roman turns heel, or else that's never going to happen. Unless it's later on in the career, or maybe right when Roman Reigns, I can't say Roman Reigns is in his prime. Can we say Roman Reigns is in his prime? Is he in his prime? Or is he not there yet? I'd say, remember when John Cena got to facing The Rock? That wasn't really the end of his career, but it was the height of his career.
Yeah.
So when Roman Reigns, gets to the height of his career, I think maybe they'll do Roman Reigns.
Imagine they tried to turn Rock heel to get Roman over. Can you imagine how bad that would be?
That'd be bad. I think my ultimate dream match was Taker Cena, but they kind of already ruined that this year's WrestleMania. Ultimate dream match. I want to see, because we saw a little bit of it. I think they can actually, if they got at least, I think these guys can do it. These guys can definitely do it. If they got the time to put, WWE would be worse if they were NXT together. Maybe you're gonna call me Indie Mark. You guys can all call me Indie Mark. One guy does come from the Indies right now, and the other guy was in Indies at one point. I would say AJ Styles and Kenny Omega. Can you imagine the match that those two would put on with each other? They both are almost not really almost the same style, but they're pun intended, their styles wouldn't clash with each other. They would actually have a good chemistry match. I think they could definitely put on a really, really good show. It would just need some sort of good story to lead up to it. Do I have faith that match would happen in WWE? No, because they would just dumb it down like they did Styles and Nakamura recently. So I would hate for it to happen in WWE, but I would love that for AJ Styles and Omega to go one-on-one with each other.
That's a really good match. But your boy Brian in the chat, we're going to get to episode 200 by the time we're done with all of Michael Chow's questions. Wow. I think this is the start of a
shots,
feud over here.
Shots.
Yeah.
Don't worry. His next
for
question
awesome
is
with
last.
Michael Chow.
You know what? No, don't worry. His next question is last. So, what about you, Cap? Do you have an ultimate dream match you want to see?
James Ellsworth versus Sin Cara.
Wow. WrestleMania main event quality. I actually would rather have seen that than this year's main event. Just saying. If that was going on last this year WrestleMania, I think the crowd would be, you saw how fucking nuts they went for a kid that Braun Strowman took out of the crowd. If it was James Ellsworth and Sin Cara, they would be just fucking batshit about it.
They just throw a random match as the people are leaving. No, that wasn't the main event.
No,
we got a different match.
You see James Ellsworth's
match?
music playing. The fucking crowd goes absolutely ballistic.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I don't really think about dream matches that much, to be honest with you.
What about Alexa and Trish Stratus one-on-one?
Okay, triple threat, Trish versus Alexa versus Sasha. There you go.
God. Let's make it happen. Let's do a 2K18 video. Let's make it happen.
No, because I can't watch that. Other than that, I can't really think of on the spot. I'm bad with these on the spot picks here. If I think of something, I'll say it.
So Brian put Styles and Edge during his rated R run. That would be cool.
I think it had to be something to do with Eddie Guerrero too, because that guy could put on a good match with anybody.
Eddie and Styles would have a really sick match. And lastly, favorite WWE feud of all time. Favorite feud of all. His is Stone Cold and Triple H from 2001. That's interesting. Or 2002, 2001-ish. Who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin? Question mark. I remember that feud.
I did it for The Rock.
That was when Rikishi drove by and hit him with the sledgehammer. I did it for The Rock.
I did it. Oh, shut up, you thong-wearing fatty.
Favorite feud of all time. It's still because it was so real. And it was awesome. And you felt the tension between both of them, but I'm still sticking with it. And that was Edge and Matt Hardy with the whole Lita thing. That's still my favorite feud of all time. That because it was so real, and it literally played into their real lives, so I still stick with that one. Edge and Matt Hardy, my favorite feud of all time.
When I was a kid, it was definitely the what do you call it? The invasion kind of storyline. I thought that was like WWE versus ECW and WCW. I really liked that feud when I was a kid because it was like real to me. I thought like they were legitimately going to put them out of business. I thought they were legitimately going to try to put them out of business, even though it was for storyline. So that was probably my favorite as a kid because that's when I really started getting into it.
We had the pay-per-view Invasion.
Yeah, they had a pay-per-view for it, and then the Survivor Series 5-on-5 to determine who went out of business. Like, Kurt Angle screws over Stone Cold, and The Rock wins for the Team WWF. It was a cool ending.
I thought it was cool. I remember the Invasion, the set, it just said Invasion. And what a set creative idea that was.
Didn't it have like half of Vince's face and half of Shane's face or something?
I think that was the poster. I think that's what that was. Yeah. Oh fuck, excuse me. So. Let's get into trivia question number 1 of the night. I think I'm going to have a couple. There's only 4 prizes. I'm going to have 4. So how this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to read a question. You have to go to No Holds Barred WP. You can see right there in the bottom right, my right of the screen here. Go to No Holds Barred WP and DM us. The first answer I get on the DMs will win a random prize. I got a random generator set, and I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can see which prize you win. So the first person to DM me wins. So I got the question right here. It's a very interesting question. So it's a WWE type question. So everyone's in the chat. Listen up. All right. So actually, I'm going to get the DM open just so I can see who answers first. Okay. So first question of the night is, who was the first overall draft pick to be drafted in the WWE when they first started doing the drafts? Who was the first overall pick in the WWE when they first did the draft? So first person to DM me the answer will win the first prize of the night. So who was the first overall draft pick in the WWE when they first started doing the draft? So don't answer in the chat. Send me a DM, No Holds Barred WP.
Now, do you mean modern or do you mean like
It
back
can be
in
any time.
2002?
When they first started doing the draft, the first ever draft. Who was the first
Okay.
overall pick? Not this year or the last year's draft, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about the first ever draft that we did. I think it was 2002. Who was the first overall pick? So first person.
You have to in the DM, not in the chat, right?
Yeah, not in the DM, not in the chat. Do not put in the chat the answer because I'm not counting you. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm looking at the DMs. First person to DM me the answer will win.
Because somebody put an answer in the chat, so that won't count.
Listen to what I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Do you listen? Do you understand
When
the
my
words come
hand
out of my
goes
mouth?
up, your mouth
goes
goes
shut. Oh, we got our first answer, and that is Tiffany from That Ass Podcast. So she's the first one, followed closely by Brian, but Brian, your answer was wrong. So it is The Rock. I did it for The Rock. So he was the first overall draft pick in the WWE. So, Tiffany, let's see what you win. So I have it labeled. So how I have it on the screen, so I'll bring the prizes back up on the screen there. So prize number 1 is Jericho and Kevin Owens WWE plaque. Prize number 2 is any shirt from Collar and Elbow. Prize number 3 is any NXT shirt from ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. And prize number 4 is our very own mystery crate. Ooh. Okay, so now I will switch over to the desktop screen so you guys can see. You guys can see firsthand what's going on here. So I got the random name picker right there. So you see prize 1, prize 2, prize 3, and prize 4. So let's see what prize you win, Tiff. Drum roll, please. Prize number 4. You get the NHBWP Mystery Crate. Oh, boy.
Yep, and it's going to be full of coffee.
It's going to be full of coffee. It's all going to be just coffee in there. But that's going to be interesting to see what you get in the NHB WP Mystery Crate. Oh, God. I'm going to think of something funny to put in this crate for you, Tiffany, and I'll get your information off later on, maybe tomorrow, and then I'll send you with Glorious Greg. I know you're in the chat. I'm sending you a crate that we meant to send you a long time ago tomorrow as well. I'm making it. I'm gonna do it all tomorrow. I know for sure I am. So Tiff, you're gonna get a mystery crate. Woo. So I'm gonna think of something funny to put in there. Maybe there'll be some coffee in there. Who knows? So that was question number 1. So thank you, Tiffany. So let's get into the NXT review. We'll do some more questions later, and maybe we'll do one right in the middle of the review. Pretty good episode of NXT this week, which was the 5th of May episode of NXT. I think this was a first taping, man. The crowd was really hot for this one.
I want to play another clip first.
Okay, before we interview, we got another clip. Is this a previous Lowdown Show clip?
Yep.
Okay, so we got another history of the Lowdown Show clip right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, episode 100. So, Corporate Cappy, take it away with this another historic clip from the Lowdown Show.
Wells is new. Sin Cara versus Dolph Ziggler is the real test for Dolph Ziggler to see if he can prove himself to face Nakamura. It's Sin Cara right here. I forgot he was even there, man. I honestly forgot Sin Cara was even drafted to the roster. Literally I had no idea that he was there. This is like the first Sin Cara match we've had in a long time, too. When's the last time we had a singles match? Jobbing to Strowman. Oh, yeah, for sure. Dolph Ziggler is a good test for you. Sin Cara.
God, I get another Sin Cara clip. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Jesus.
I didn't say they weren't all going to be Sin Cara clips.
Jesus. That's 2 Sin Cara clips in a row. What do you got, a line of Sin Cara clips ready to go?
Maybe.
Oh, that was a good episode. My God. Yeah, that's where it all stemmed from, guys, why we're our banter on Sin Cara. Anyways, let's talk about something new here. NXT this week. Good episode, sort of. It was all right. I liked it. Didn't love it. I liked it. Getting to the opening of NXT. My boy Ricochet, one and only.
Crickets.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay. So, his in-ring promo work needs some tunage a little bit. That was his first ever televised in-ring promo. What
Jinder
the hell
Mahal cuts better promos.
Because he's had time to work on his promo skills, and he's had. Okay, that's sad that he's had time, and he's that worse as well. Okay.
By the way, I'm joking. It was not better than it was better than a Jinder Mahal promo.
It was pretty decent. I thought you were serious. Now listen to him. Like it wasn't good. Like you could tell he needs a little bit of work. But you can like he got overshadowed by Velveteen Dream like crazy in this one. So he gets interrupted by Velveteen Dream while he was talking about his ultimate goal is to be the NXT champion. Basically tell us Ricochet that he may flip and flop, but he has to go back to the line, go to the back of the line. A fight almost breaks out between the two, but Velveteen Dream slithers back under the ring like he usually does and up the ramp. So Velveteen Dream actually over-promoted him in this one. I think it really wasn't fair. Velveteen Dream is obviously a stud when it comes to promo work, as we've seen this week. But it looks like we're heading towards a Velveteen Dream and Ricochet feud, which is pretty cool. Didn't think that those guys would go at it at first, but I'm interested. Can you imagine the match these guys are going to have?
No, we saw a taste of it in the ladder match.
Yeah, dude, these matches, and they probably saw it and said, okay, we got to put these guys together. So I can't wait for Ricochet and Velveteen Dream to ultimately come to and it's probably going to be NXT TakeOver Chicago. That's almost in a month from now. So I can't wait for these two to finally go at it. So hopefully they keep building off this feud because it looks like whatever they put Velveteen Dream in, he obviously carries the feud a little bit. But he's one of the main factors of the feud. It looks like whoever he gets put into a feud with, he can definitely make most of it. His character is such a dynamic character that the feud itself will be amazing. So I'm looking forward to this.
Velveteen Dream is like completely over, even as a heel. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. When they were chanting, like, what were they chanting? Were they chanting say his name or whatever, or Velveteen? They were chanting Velveteen when Ricochet said that they even got the universe saying his name. He's like trying to clear his ears out. It's like, well, what is that? What's that? The guy's just amazing. His aneurysms are sick, man. The character is really, really well done. So I'm looking forward to these. I hope they keep Velveteen Dream NXT for a while. Don't let Vince get his hands on this guy, please. They'll ruin the shit out of him. So that's that. We moved on. We had EC3's television debut. He faced off against Raul Mendoza, the guy that's just, he's there to be used. He's like what, what's his name? They used to use someone all the time. Almas, when he first became the NXT, the guy they used just to get someone over and to be there like whenever they need someone to spot fill. So Raul Mendoza, and then he had a really good Cruiserweight Classic, so maybe they're transitioning him to 205 Live eventually. I think I would have put him on there already, but maybe they just need some spot fillers, so they kept him down there. He faced EC3. It was an all-right match. It wasn't the greatest. I was expecting a little bit more. Crowd kind of really heavy on EC3 in his entrance, but they kind of fell asleep during the match. Maybe they're expecting a little bit more too. EC3 is amazing promo work, though. Guy is really well done. I mean, he comes from a company where they had to do their own promos, so he has some skill in promo working. So I'm liking EC3. I'm hoping we get a little bit more out of him. It'll be interesting to see where this leads to. I don't know what the direction they're going to go with EC3 from here.
Greg goes Mendoza, the Sin Cara of NXT.
You can't be credible in NXT unless you go through Raul Mendoza.
Him or Fabian Eichner.
One or the other. Whoever the fuck, they just use him as the main city spot filler. Because I don't know where the fuck
St.
he's
Catharines,
originally from.
Ontario.
This Italian, German, Scottish, Australian, wherever the fuck he is, this mutt. He was in St. Catharines when we were at the live event, and they billed him from St. Catharines, and I Googled, and I'm like, hey, this guy ain't from St. Catharines, Ontario. Who the fuck labeled this guy from St. Catharines? He's just that guy.
He doesn't know one thing about St. Catharines.
Yeah.
But yes, I like EC3 was like singing his theme song on the way out.
Yeah, he really loves that theme song, man.
Yeah.
So I like that he's doing that. I don't mind that.
I like his cocky, self-righteous character. I like it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do for him. Maybe they don't have anything lined up for him just now, so maybe there's gonna be a couple of those build-up matches. Next week he's gonna face maybe Fabian Eichner, or next week he's gonna face maybe a random enhancement talent guy or something like that. Anyway, so we moved on. We had Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch walking backstage. This was pretty cool, and it's funny as hell. To inform Pete Dunne that they don't particularly like him. And they're like, we know you know you're a scumbag. I forget what they said. Like, Like, you know, you're a scumbag, and Pete Dunne's like, yeah, I know I am. And then, but they're still going to team with him to try to get rid of NXT of the Undisputed Era. So get rid of the Undisputed Era in NXT. So joining an alliance there, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Pete Dunne. So, and then they later on announced that next week we're actually going to get that. We're going to get that 6-man tag team match between these three and the Undisputed Era. So that'll be interesting to see what's going on with that and who. I think they should have done maybe tornado tag. I don't know if necessarily a tag team match would be all right. I think these guys deserve to be a tornado tag. But, okay, this is leading to something else because I honestly thought maybe the end result at NXT TakeOver Chicago was going to be 3-on-3, but I guess not. So maybe they have other plans. I'm excited for this. So we'll see what happens next week. So I'm going to stop there because that's half of NXT this week. And I'm going to do another trivia question. Yay. Another trivia question. Let me just skip over here and get to the next trivia question. Oh, this is an interesting question here. I like this one. And I actually like this question. Okay, so who was... So, guys, again, contest-wise, so there's only 3 prizes left. Who was... I keep forgetting to repeat this. My bad. DM me. Do not put it in the chat. Okay? I'm not counting your answer in the chat. Go No Holds Barred, at No Holds Barred WP on Twitter. DM me the answer. The first person to answer me will win a prize. Tiffany, you're excluded because you already won a prize. So everyone else is ready to go and ready to tell me. So, next question is, who was the first WWE superstar to capture the Money in the Bank contract 2 WrestleManias in a row? So first WWE superstar to capture the Money in the Bank contract 2 years in a row. So first person to answer that to me on Twitter in the DMs will win another prize. So again, the question is, who was the first WWE superstar to capture the Money in the Bank contract 2 WrestleManias in a row? So first person to DM me the answer on Twitter will win a prize. So DM Noah's Bard WP.
And it is not James Ellsworth.
Fortunately, it's not. It's not Sin Cara either. Oh,
well,
shucks.
James Ellsworth technically won a Money in the Bank, but he handed it to Carmella.
And we have a winner. Cuba Girl 125 has won the second prize. And she put the answer CM Punk, and she is correct. So CM Punk was the first ever WWE superstar to win and capture the Money in the Bank briefcase contract 2 WrestleManias in a row. And I'm shocked because the one and only who invented this match has never actually won the briefcase, and that is Chris Jericho. He should come back for Money in the Bank this year and win it. He needs to win it.
How the hell has he never won one?
Right?
The guy invented the match, basically.
So, Cuba Girl 125. Actually, before I go, I got to erase prize 4 because that's out of the way. Cuba Girl 125, let's see what you win. So you either can win a Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens plaque, a shirt from Collar and Elbow brand, or a NXT shirt from Extreme Wrestling Shirts. Let's see what your prize is. Let me just transition the screen over for you guys once I do that. There we go. All right, let's see. Cuba Girl 125. What prize do you win for the second question? Prize number 3, you win an any NXT shirt from Collar and Elbow brand on... Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Any NXT shirt from Extreme Wrestling Shirts.com. So I'll put the prizes back on the screen for you guys. You win the third prize there, any NXT shirt. So you go on that website, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com, Cuba Girl. You pick out an NXT shirt, and I will send it to you as soon as I can. So you win any NXT shirt from that website. Our boys at ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. 2 prizes left to go. A shirt from Collar and Elbow or the grand prize of the Chris Jericho Kevin Owens WWE plaque. So, congratulations, Cuba Girl 125.
Yeah, if they have a Velveteen Dream shirt on there, I already know what she's getting.
If they have one, it's yours. Any NXT shirt. So any one of your choosing. I got the best prize, coffee. I'm not sending you coffee. I'm sending you coffee. I'm gonna make sure it says coffee right on it. I might take a pen and correct it and put coffee on it.
Can she just pick the generic NXT shirt?
Yeah, if you want. I said any NXT shirt.
The generic NXT logo shirt.
Whatever. All right, let's go back to the NXT review, guys. We had Dakota Kai versing Vanessa Bourne here. Basically a decent match. I thought it was all right. I love Dakota Kai's finisher. Holy shit. What was that? That like flip over backbreaker. That was a sick finishing move. I will give that to Dakota Kai. She's improving a lot, man. I think they see a lot in her. I think she's going to be a big part of the women's division going forward. So, very, very interesting match. Dakota Kai ends up winning with that finisher over Vanessa Bourne. After the match, Shayna Baszler came out. She came down and basically backed Dakota Kai up into a corner. As she turned her attention over to Vanessa Bourne and choked her out, Dakota Kai managed to escape the ring and run off to the back. So she's getting interviewed in the back by Kathy Kelly, and then Baszler she's getting interviewed in the back by Kathy Kelly, and then Baszler comes in and corners Dakota Kai again. He says, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" That's right. That's what I thought. Nothing. He's like a real bully. So Shannon Baszler with this bully antics and this like dominance in NXT as the women's champion is just amazing. They're doing such good work with her as women's champion. I'm so looking forward to her. And then all of a sudden, Dakota Kai hears some laughing, and she turns her head, and there's that little like a set piece, and Nikki Cross is just hanging off it, and then just laughing. Just her like, I'm like, what the fuck? Where did she come from? So Nikki Cross is back. She's back. And I'm just like, oh my god, how creepy is that? Like Dakota Kai must be shitting bricks like crazy, man. She's already like scared shitless of Shayna Baszler, and now she turns and sees like Nikki Cross hanging, looking freaky as hell on like a stanchion set. Like what the fuck? What the hell is going through her head, man?
Yeah, and Nikki Cross is just like psycho laughing at her.
So this is very, very interesting to see what it was. I'm so intrigued about this women's division. But again,
I think it's going to be Nikki and Shayna.
Shayna Baszler, though, man, like they're doing such good work with her. I'm looking so.
Yeah, I
want
to just say like she's not like Sasha and Alexa Bay level, but like just as a fighter and as a character, I love Shayna Baszler. Like she is like everything about her is credible.
Right.
The way that she comes down to the ring, the way she presents herself in the ring, and the way that she cuts promos, and the way that she like she comes out with like a biker like leather jacket on, and she's got like the strut going, like she's fitting that character so well. She's gonna do such a good job with that NXT women's division.
And we've seen that she's not come from like she has no wrestling experience with her. She came from an MMA background. She has no prior indie wrestling thing or anything. She's just it's awesome the way that her character presents herself, like you said, and her mic work and her in-ring talent. She's becoming the perfect homegrown talent.
And her entrance music really fits her too. I like it a lot.
Yeah, maybe what if as Cupid Girl said, what if Nikki helps Dakota Kai?
Yeah, maybe.
Weird alliance there.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, Shayna Baszler just attacked Vanessa Bourne after the match because she can and she doesn't give a fuck.
Exactly, it's just the character is amazing. This division is flourishing. I thought it'd be a little bit in trouble when Asuka left and a lot of people got called up, like Amber Moon and the Iconics. So looks like they're still gonna flourish without them. We moved on here. We had the War Raiders against Heavy Machinery. I pointed this out last week. I thought this was way too fucking early for this. They should have just held this match back and promoted it for weeks and built it and have a big payoff match at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Really upset that they got this out of the way, and it really wasn't that great. It was a weird, quick match, and it had War Raiders winning clean. I mean, what else can we say about this? I mean, it was one thing wrong with NXT this week. It was shitty. I didn't like the match. There's barely any hype for it, and they had it at the wrong time. I don't know if these guys are going to have a rematch or what's going on with this feud, but this I thought they would save this for NXT TakeOver Chicago. I think this was the ultimate. As soon as people heard that War Machine, or now War Raiders, were coming to NXT, that they thought, okay, maybe the ultimate payoff match is going to be a match with heavy machinery, but they got it out of the way. It's like they didn't want this to be the ultimate payoff match. So who knows? We'll see what happens. I thought it was all right, and it happened a little bit too early, though. So it is what it is.
And then it was like heavy machinery got squashed, and it's like they're not even going to continue the feud from here, I don't think.
Right? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So move on to the main event. We had Tommaso Ciampa, whatever you guys want to say, however you guys want to say it, versus Cassius Ohno. Interesting.
Before we get into this, can I just say, like, Ciampa looks darker. Like, was he tanning for like weeks on end or something?
I think
like,
so.
He looked so dark, unless he had like a dark spray tan on or something, because he looked dark.
He's got he had a leg injury. What else is he gonna do?
I feel like they did that on purpose for his character, like to make him look, I don't know.
I can see what you're talking about, yeah.
And they have him with the big scraggly beard and his eyes all messed up. So I think they did it to make him look more evil. I think that's why they did it.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, so Tommaso Ciampa, Cassius Ohno, getting shit on by the crowd as he's coming out. No entrance music. I love that he just has his Titantron, but there's no music at all. He's just embracing everyone shitting on him. Cassius Ohno running right to the ring, not trying to waste any time. He's pissed off at what he's been doing to Johnny Gargano, trying to stick up for Gargano, one of his friends. Didn't really work because it was an all right match, but after Ciampa hits his that one finisher he does on him. I forgot what he did. I forgot what he calls it. But Ciampa ends up winning, and then after the match, Ciampa hits Ohno with his knee brace in the back and then chokes him out with it. I thought Gargano was going to come out here, but it looks like they're kind of saving that maybe for like the week before TakeOver Chicago, or maybe 2 weeks before, where Gargano comes back and starts attacking Ciampa. But this ultimate payoff is going to be even bit greater than the one we just had at TakeOver New Orleans. So I can't wait for this, and I'm loving the direction this feud is going. So Ciampa getting the better hand of Cassius Ohno this week on NXT. So it's a decent episode, not the greatest, but it was all right, I thought. Just decent. I can't really say much, but decent. Channeling his inner Venom, yeah.
Yeah, Brian, I'm not being racist, okay? Dark people are not evil. I mean, his spray tan was dark. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we no racism here. Come on now. Come on, Brian.
Come on.
Come on,
We're in the
man.
21st century here. I don't care if you're black, white,
Purple.
red, purple. I don't give a fuck. But yes, he just, like, the way that he tanned, I really think they just gave him, like, some, I don't know what's the word, like a spray can, and just
use all of this. Just use all of it, man. Just use the whole thing, all of it.
Like, I know he's Sicilian and they tan a bit, but like, man, I don't know what he did, but he looked more evil this week with the way that he looked with his eye and everything too.
Right.
And like, I've never seen a guy get so much legitimate heat. Like, this is the closest thing to like actual heat, like back in the day, like. Whereas they're not booing him like they do Roman Reigns, where like they don't like the way he's pushed. They all legitimately hate Ciampa for everything that he's done to Gargano over the last year, and it's like legit what heat is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody's sharing this guy as a heel, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just love him coming out to no entrance music. Like, he's basically one of the top heels in the company already, and he's only on NXT.
NXT, man, it's the way to go. The livelihoods where I watch my wrestling every single week. And if I tune in to Raw or SmackDown and I have time, I will. If not, don't care. I'll miss it. I'll skip on to the next week. It sucks. I have a lot of favorite people on there, and just if I don't have time for it, it's like I don't get upset that I missed it. Right? NXT is just so good. I make sure I tune into the full episode every single week. Like, I missed it this week and I had to tune in the next day. I'd make sure I watched it from start to finish. Didn't miss a thing. Even sat through the commercials. That's how much I love NXT. I sit through the commercials on the replays. That's how much I love it.
To be fair, though, their commercials aren't like real commercials.
No,
they're just promoting
10-second
NXT.
things. Yeah, and they're like 10-second like quick WWE network ads. Anyways, so now we ended the review. I'll get into the next question. And you know what? Since we don't have a lot of time left, and don't have a lot of people in the chat, I'll leave this as the last question. So you're either going to win the plaque, or you're either going to win a shirt from Collar and Elbow, the website. So, Cuba Girl 125, you're exempt. That ass podcast, you're exempt. Whoever's left in the chat, you're ready to go. So it looks like I only see Brian. Hopefully, other people are listening. If you are, Greg is listening. At No Holds Barred WP. First person to DM me the answer will win. It's a pretty easy question, I think, if you're knowledgeable in wrestling. So the last question, whoever, you can either win a plaque or you're going to win a shirt from Collar and Elbow. So, first person to DM me wins. Who is the only WWE superstar who has captured the Intercontinental Championship 8 times? So, who is the only WWE superstar to have captured the IC title or Intercontinental Championship 8 times? First person to DM me at No Holds Barred WP on Twitter will win the final prize of either a Kevin Owens and Jericho plaque or a shirt from collarandelbow.com, who is actually CEO'd by Al Snow, former WWE superstar. He owns that. So,
shout out to Al Snow.
Yeah, shout out to Al Snow, I guess. But if you guys are listening,
it's going to be Gilly and Brian are going to fight for this one, it looks like.
Yeah. Who is the only superstar to have captured the Intercontinental Championship 8 times in their WWE career? Send me the answer on Twitter. DM me right now. I No Holds Barred WP. First person to get it will win. So don't do it in the chat. Please don't do it in the chat. That ruins it. So I got an answer from Brian. Nope, that is incorrect, Brian. Keep trying because I don't see anyone else answering. So keep trying, man. It's not Miz. It is not The Miz. So
Miz will tie with his next one. He will tie this person.
He will tie this person with his next one. So good answer. I know you're trying to go for here. He will tie this person with his next one. So who is the WWE superstar who's captured the Intercontinental Championship 8 times in their career? So keep trying, guys. Keep trying. At No Holds Barred WP on Twitter. DM me that answer. You know what? And I will cap it. If I don't get anything soon, I will let Tiffany or Cupid Girl go again for the next answer. So not yet. As we wait for this answer. So yeah, NXT this week was... No, X Gilly. We said Miz was not the answer, but we got Brian. Brian has said the answer. He says Y2J, and that is correct. Chris Jericho is the winner, and he is the one, or he is the answer, and he is the one who has won the Intercontinental Championship 8 times. He did put or Jeff Jarrett, and I will not can't count that.
JFFJARRET.
So
if Jeff Jarrett won the IC title 8 times, I think WWE would have been out of business. Anyway, continue.
Anyways, Brian, you're going to win either a shirt from Collar and Elbow or you're going to win the Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho plaque, which I actually have here to show for you guys. So you can see the exact plaque that you're going to win. It's right here. And you can see it in the screen there. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. They beat Enzo and Cass, I believe, in Cass on April 21st, 2016. So this is the plaque you're going to win. If you might win, Brian, if the generator picks it. So that is an interesting plaque right there.
Too bad you didn't have the Big Show defeats Rusev at Fastlane plaque.
I know. Anyways, let me go over to the desktop screen so I can get Brian his prize here. So you're either going to win prize number 1 and prize number 2, Brian. The final prize of the night, you will win the plaque. The Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens defeats Enzo Amore and Big Cass plaque. Oh, I didn't transition, so you guys didn't see me do it. Okay, I'm sorry. But I did do it. I'll transition now so I can show you. It was prize 1. There you go. It was prize 1. He won prize 1. So, Brian, you'll be in touch with me on Twitter. DM me your address and your mailing address, and I will send you over that plaque for your prize that you won. Thank you for answering the question. I need that in my life.
Yep. So he missed the first 2, but then made up for it with the plaque.
And Jeff Jarrett.
Oh my god.
But I really have nothing else lined up for this episode. Got it all out. So you guys want to call in, talk some wrestling, talk whatever, call in. The Skype lines are open right now. Message me on Skype, and I'll add you to the call. And that's the only easy way of doing it. So add us on Skype, No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. Add us on there, No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, and I'll add you to the Skype list, and you'll be able to call in and chat some wrestling with us. So the lines are open right now, so call us whenever you want. Just chime in. So while we're waiting for that, so we got Tiffany winning the NHBWP Mystery Crate. Ooh. We have Cuba Girl 125 winning any NXT shirt from our boys at ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. We also got Brian winning a Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens defeat Enzo and Big Cass plaque at SummerSlam 2016. So I'll be in touch with you guys on Twitter, and we'll get you guys your prizes from tuning in to this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be able to say, if I can get all your information by tonight or by tomorrow, I'll be able to send everything out tomorrow and get you guys that tracking number. So if you guys want to call in on Skype, just call in, and I'll add you to the Skype call. I'm pretty sure it'll let me add you to the Skype call if you called in, right? Should be able to. We'll see what Skype does. Does some interesting things sometimes. But NXT this week, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was all right. Wasn't one of the best episodes, but we got what we got. Slowly building towards. That's what I love about NXT. They slowly build towards the pay-per-view. They don't rush everything all at once. So we're slowly building towards NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Well, I'm interested for Money in the Bank because they actually have a month to actually build it, unlike the 3 pay-per-views they've had in the last month. Does that made any sense whatsoever?
That's true.
And they're actually having qualifying matches, which is a shocker. It's about time they're making people qualify for this thing.
That's true.
They're not just throwing people in. You qualify. You
automatically qualify for this Money in the Bank ladder match. So
yeah.
And they actually didn't they announce this week that it's going to be half of Raw and half of SmackDown in each match.
Yep, and they can cash in on either champion, which will be interesting because now that they have both the dual branded pay-per-views, the champions will be there along with whoever wins the Money in the Bank, so they could cash in basically any pay-per-view, which would be interesting. Yeah.
So that means they're only going to have 2 Money in the Bank matches at the pay-per-view itself. Not going to have 4 like everyone predicted, like 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown men, 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown women. So it's going to be interesting how they fill the rest of the pay-per-view out. I'm assuming, we just had 9 matches, including the pre-show for Backlash. I don't think they will do that many matches. Maybe we'll get 5 or 6 in total. So not including the 2 ladder matches, we might get 4 extra, maybe 5 with the pre-show. So 7. 7 total, I think, would be sufficient enough. Depending on what the feuds are like. I mean, they'll throw together feuds for whatever reason, have matches, it looks like. So who knows? It's not like NXT where they just, if you don't belong on the pay-per-view and you don't have a feud, you don't go on the pay-per-view. You stay out. and they do that on weekly episodes of NXT. So again, guys, Skype lines are open. If you want to call into the show, call us. No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. Add us on Skype, and we'll add you to the Skype call. And I'm wondering if I can. I'm going to see if I can add it on the screen here. I think I can. So I can add text. There we go. Okay, so I have to type here. Add on Skype. Do. There we go. Add another text. No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. NHBWP.
Maybe I should play another clip.
Okay, you have another clip? Go ahead.
Yep.
Right, so we got another historic clip in the history.
This one's not Sin Cara.
Or Lowdown show. Saying No Holds Barred history. It technically is.
Yeah, but this one's not Sin Cara.
Okay.
And it's like a minute or two. So.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. Come on.
Oh God. There's been some great ones with this over the years, so let's hear these.
So from 2014, our worst feud of the year was Fandango versus Santino Marella.
Oh my God, yeah, that was garbage.
They included poor Emma and Summer Rae in it.
Oh my
with the
God,
Emma's Cobra
yeah.
thing.
And then Summer Rae being the dancer for Fandango.
Sweet Tea versus Brodus Clay.
Oh my God. That was a feud? What the fuck is that? What?
Yeah, remember they were the tag team.
Oh,
Tons
Sweet
of funk,
Tea.
tons of funk, and then Brodus Clay was like, "I'm the main event player," and then he turned on him.
Yeah, that was the worst thing on television. I'd rather see Kane versus the Milkman actually have a match than that.
Oh, we got a call here. We're adding to the group call here.
All right.
And we got Tiffany from That Ass Podcast. What's going on, Tiff?
Hey, okay, I figure I might as well call in.
I can't hear you. Speak up.
Hey, what?
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
Like, what? All right. So, anyway, congratulations on 100. Happy calling.
well, thank you, Tiff.
Yeah. Well, I'm out. See you later.
Whatever.
It's been one hell of a ride. That's for sure.
It's awesome. Like, I'm so thankful that, like, I found you guys. So,
Yeah, aren't you coming up on the 1-year anniversary of That Ass Podcast too?
it was this week. It was this,
Ooh.
Oh.
so I'll probably go live tomorrow and with Jimmy, since I'll be with Jimmy. And then I'm planning something Sunday, so we'll see about
Ooh.
that.
Where is James at?
Working. I barely talk to James, really. He's that busy.
Wow, he's pulling a
Jeez.
corporate.
He totally is. Yeah. No, I know. So,
It's okay.
yeah,
The show must go on, right?
it has to go on. So, and we'll get Kyle back on for that coffee podcast, too. So,
Yeah, we
No,
will. We
He
will.
was way too hyper that day. 'Cause I actually saw him that day after.
I'll mentally prepare myself. I'll be all right.
we got to put a cap next time. That's
Yeah.
it.
Now it says that Brian says he added us, but I don't see anyone. It doesn't say that I have anyone. Are you sure you added us, Brian? Did you type it in right? Because I don't got any contacts saying that they added me. I don't know if I have to look for that. No, it
So
doesn't say-
Tiff, you like your present behind Kyle's head?
yeah, thank you.
I do. I like it. I
Thank
like
you very
it.
much. Oh, I'm gonna make your mystery crate very, very interesting.
Oh, boy.
So it'll be nice.
I mean, you can just wait till I come up there if you want. So,
True. Okay, I'll make a crate. I'll make it nice. It'll be like a welcoming gift.
There you go.
The welcoming committee.
Put some nice fruits in there and some.
Fruit? I don't want any fucking fruit. Like,
Hey, what's wrong with our fruit? Get something against Canadian fruit?
We'll give her a poutine that'll sit in there for 2.5 months.
Ooh, it'll be nice and fermented by the time she gets up here.
oh, like I was looking it up, the smokes that you were talking about on when you guys were on my podcast.
Oh
So-
God,
Really excited. So 3 weeks today, I will be with you guys.
yeah, smokes poutine. We're definitely gonna have to hit up some smokes. That place is legit. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now I got the invite there, Brian.
There you go. All right. I
No, but what do you want to talk about?
No, I just called in because everybody's having problems with,
Oh, you were the 2-minute spot filler jobber match.
That's right. I'm the James Ellsworth, like.
Hey, James Ellsworth's a main event player.
Hey,
Don't
James
you ever...
Ellsworth's no Seth Rollins.
No. Oh, God.
Oh yes. Don't talk about Seth Rollins or AJ around Tiff. This is a PG podcast. Not really. But...
Not really. Noel's bar means un-PG, but we won't go that far though. We won't go that far.
Nah, Vince and Kevin Dunn have censored it.
No holds barred.
No holds barred.
Yep.
Yeah, barred.
Yeah. That should have been a logo. No holds barred.
If I had a T-shirt store, it'd be one of the T-shirts. No holds barred.
I would totally rock it. I would you could put it up. I would totally rock it.
You could sell it in New York because everybody'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about."
No, yo, you know it's bad. Yeah, no, I know it's bad. Yeah, you know it's bad. Yeah, it's good to know it's bad.
It's like a mixture of Boston and New York. That's never good.
That is not true. We do not sound like Boston people. I'm just
Boston.
put it on the list. Put it on the list.
Yep, I will.
Boston people. Yeah, I left my car keys in the car.
Oh God. But
Left my car keys in the car.
But I did obtain my NXT tickets for
Ooh,
Split.
takeover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now they do you see the advertisement they put today on
Yes, they put
Twitter? They put seer instead of seat.
Get your
Get your it said get your seer, Brent. This was from the official Twitter account of WWE. Get your your seer instead of seat on their tweet.
Yep.
Oh, they fucked up. They fucked up.
I got good. So I told Kyle he could have the other ticket. If not, I'll find somebody else. But
Brian, if you can hear me, Brian, call into the show, man. Just call in. And I'll add you to the group.
You gotta get James to go with you to that. Tell him to get his ass back from wherever he's working.
Can't go. It's just crazy. I have not seen James since the Maluma concert. I went with him. But
Tiffany, I must say you did answer that question pretty fast. So you're very knowledgeable in wrestling. I will congratulate you on that.
There's also Google for that.
but I know stuff. Let me like James has been like a big wrestling fan like forever, and you know I used to watch with my dad when I was young, and then I stopped for a while. But
I did give half of it away by saying 2002. So.
Yeah.
So many people were the first pick, first top superstars back then. If you chose one of the four, you probably got it right.
Tiff, you're learning a lot about wrestling. I'll give it to you. Especially NXT. You just started watching that.
Oh,
so
here we go. I had to be as awesome here to the group call.
Oh God.
Brian, what's going on, man?
Oh my God.
What's up?
What's going on? Congratulations, man! You won. You won the plaque. I was really hoping you won the plaque instead of the shirt.
As was I. I mean, I've never gotten a fan of the month, year, day, hour. Since that's all Michael Chow's territory. So this beef is going on to Skype.
Well, Michael Chow isn't even here, so technically you're ahead of him right now.
There we go. See, I stay winning tonight.
Wait, is it like Brian's supposed to not be wearing pants or something like that when he calls in?
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Thank
gonna
God
include,
it was video.
I was not gonna include video. That's too much for Salax to do. I just told him to do a basic layout.
I don't know who said I was wearing pants at the time, but
Wow.
We don't even know that right now.
I have them half on, so I don't know. You guys can decide if that means one leg off or just up to my knees.
Damn.
Damn. That's all I can say to that.
I give the people what they want.
And what do you want to say since you got mad at Michael Chow for saying that his questions were going to last till episode 200?
Oh, no, I don't. Me and Michael Chow's beef goes way back, way back.
You said you found
Really?
us through RTM.
Yeah.
Is this like a Gargano and Ciampa feud?
Sure. I would say more Braun and Roman. I'm Braun, he's Roman.
Keeping it on
Actually,
the main roster. All right.
It's Roman versus the fans. I'm the fans. He's Roman.
Oh, okay. he's Roman. Oh, we got another call coming in.
Oh,
no.
Here we go. It's gonna be a big group call. What's going on, Cupid Girl 125? Hello.
Hello.
You got to say her name first.
I don't know if I should say her name.
Be quiet, Kathy.
What do you mean be quiet? You love that guy.
I love that guy, but you don't need to make fun of me for loving him.
I don't make fun of you for loving him. I like Velveteen Dream, He's a good brother.
I won't break kayfabe. It's Cupid Girl 125.
Oh my God.
What's going on, Michaela? Oh, I mean Cupid Girl 125. Oh, broke kayfabe. All right, too late.
Oh, it's okay. Kyle says my real name
Kayfabe
all
is
the
dead.
time on the podcast, and I'm pretty sure he said No Cell Phil's entire full name at one point during one of the podcasts.
Yeah,
So
back in the day, we had a lot of botches back then, more than I do now.
do you guys remember when your first episode? Well, not episode, but do you remember when you first started listening to the podcast?
I want to say it was when I got. I don't know when it was. I think it was when it was Brand Wars. I think.
A silent viewer for a while.
I think so.
That's okay.
Hold on. There's a bigger issue here.
Uh-oh.
Why is she allowed to video chat, and I'm told calls only? Is it the pants
She's
thing?
not video chatting. What?
I can see her.
Oh yeah, I've had it on video yet. No time. Sorry.
Yeah, but
See?
I can't see the screen.
This is
right
wrong.
now. I don't
This
know what's
is
going
wrong.
on here. I'm not even at my screen. Well, I can't see the screen. What the hell is going on here? Oh well, I can't see anything.
I have my
so-
pants on, guys. I swear.
I swear to God. Okay. Good.
Good.
please.
Anywho,
This isn't that ass podcast. where
anyways,
anything
Tiff.
goes.
Same question to you, Tiff.
What?
Where, and when did you start listening to us?
Oh, so no, it was when the NXT and Takeover Brooklyn. It was when you guys did
the
Yeah.
first Skype call-ins. Yeah.
yes.
Oh, the full day podcast.
Mm.
Oh boy.
James was on his way to my house. We were live on That Ass Podcast later, but he was on his way and he called me. He's like, "You gotta listen to this wrestling podcast that I found." But it's funny because you guys were listening to us, and like
Yeah,
I had
secretly, we were a silent listener of you guys.
yeah, it was August, and yeah, and then James showed up in my house, and I jumped into the chat, and then James called in that show too. So yeah, it was that SummerSlam NXT weekend.
That was actually the plaque that I'm sending to Brian. That was actually from that SummerSlam and Takeover Brooklyn weekend.
Historic, a historic plaque in many ways.
I was in.
Mhm.
So oh no, wait, that was last year. Never mind.
Should make a plaque of
I was
when you first watched the podcast. Make a plaque of Tiffany tuning into the show.
Nah, it's a waste of a plaque.
damn.
Wow.
Tiffany's
Not
worth
like
a
that. No, I was just saying like
$2
that's
plaque.
too much money. Anyway, same question to you, Brian. I already know half of it, but
I can't remember a specific show. I started listening to you guys through, like I said, RTM.
mhm.
I really don't remember a show in particular. I used to listen to RTM driving. I used to drive a lot for work.
I
From
miss
like
those
Frisco
guys.
to LA, like once a week. Yeah, that sucked. So I would, I found their podcast and then started tweeting you guys, just random. I think it was like memes I would make for RTM or stuff like that. Just dumb, funny stuff, as you guys can tell. I like to joke.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you guys always took the heat and gave it back. So I started listening to you guys, and I really can't remember an exact episode. That's how great it must have been.
That's all right. That's all right. Fair enough. We'll take anything here. But yeah, our
Well-
boys RTM and I get boys and girl Emma and Andy over there. To miss them doing regular podcasts, but obviously they have.
Yeah, those guys are really cool.
They got lives, obviously. I don't. So.
I just want to take this time to say a PSA. It's gonna be a moment of bliss.
Oh.
And
Oh,
if
man,
you,
what
if
the
you have a
fuck?
bully in your life like Brian, you don't have to
Oh,
worry
boy.
about it.
Oh,
You can
here
get
we
away
go.
You can get away from bullies like Brian and Nia Jax, who try to bring you down in life. Just remember that
Shouldn't
you
be
are a
that hard.
star.
Shouldn't be that hard to get away from Nia.
This has been a moment of bliss.
Jesus Christ.
Those
Oh,
are the greatest segments in Raw history.
no.
I love the
Those
one.
are
Since it
amazing.
Raw and Smack, or since I'm not on the show anymore, can I just say how great a promos Alexa's been cutting with these moments of bliss since she hasn't been able to get in the ring because she's got the new tatas, looking all nice. But the moment of bliss, I mean, she's right. I mean, bullies like Nia Jax are just in life. You just have to get past people like that. Like her and Brian and Cupid Girl always bullying me.
Oh, wow. Wow, throwing
Okay.
shade.
Okay. I
Does-
love the one where she said like about the cup with Disneyland.
Yeah, it's just a
she's
cup. You sit
It's
in
a
it.
cup. You sit in it. In the cup.
Kyle, see what it's like to like an actual good women's wrestler?
Wow. All right, so we're gonna end the call with Cappy. Cappy, thanks for coming on to the show today. We're just gonna cut you off here.
Oh, come on. Come on. I'm supposed to be evil like my girl Alexa Bliss, okay? I'm supposed to be
Alright.
conniving and evil, especially when we got a 5-way call going on here.
Yeah, sorry,
We gotta,
mine
we gotta
mine got
all I
injured.
heard was-
A freak accident.
All I hear was Alexa Bliss and 5-way. That's all I heard.
Well, now that's the story for the topic for a different day. This fatal
No
five
holds barred,
way,
right?
I'll join
this
in on
fatal
that.
five way is better than the 8 that WWE's tried to put on in the last year. They love their fatal five ways.
The first time I ever
Uh,
watched
Six-pack challenge.
6-pack challenge. I don't know what they're gonna call 7. 7 way of heaven. I don't know.
Snow White and the 7 pins. I don't know.
You guys have
I'm
a
glad
favorite?
they're slowing that down.
We'll
because
start with
they have-
We'll start with Cupid Girl. Do you have a favorite moment that you can remember? Something stupid that we said, or something that we ranted or got into an argument about, or something? Kyle,
man.
podcast.
Oh, the Riley Apex and
Star?
God.
and Chris
Yeah.
had me dying
Oh, those
laughing.
fucking guys.
Star spells his name Kris, and then Star with 2 R's. Like,
Great NXT enhancement talent that we'll probably never see again until they get repackaged into whatever they will be repackaged in, if they even make it that far.
yes, that was
And then I
definitely-
came in the chat saying that Riley Apex was, and I said that Riley Apex was Randy Orton and
yeah, the
oh,
Apex Stars.
yeah.
Oh God, Tiff, what's your favorite moment that you can remember off the top of your head?
They don't have a lot, so we're not that exciting. So take your time.
We only have 100 episodes,
Yeah.
so don't worry about it.
I don't know.
We're not that exciting. It's okay. If you can't remember, it's okay. I'll forgive you.
I don't know. I look, I love you guys, so every week's exciting. So
That's such a generic WWE PS Michael Hayes answer. You got to give me something better than that.
I don't know.
I don't even know, to be honest. I don't even when I got asked that by Michael Chow, I'm like, shit, I don't even know.
Damn,
We've done so much random shit in this podcast. I hardly remember any Lowdown Show episode.
You don't like Kyle ranting about Big Show or Jinder Mahal or something like that?
Oh, that's you.
Kane?
I do gotta bring the rants back. I've been keeping it. Well, it's just because NXT is like a breath of fresh air. There's not really much to rant about. I don't know. I've been thinking about doing like a ranting podcast once a week about the main roster because I hate the main roster so much. I should just do a rant episode, the entire podcast, just ripping apart the main roster. And then I get all the fucking all the attackers on Twitter going, "Oh, just accept that you watch it."
Well, the main roster is great, but I'm not gonna argue with you.
Yeah, okay. We got another call to add to the group chat. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Glorious Greg, what's going on, man?
Holy Christ.
Oh my God, it's Greg.
Hello?
I
Hello?
can hear the Fortnite music in the background.
Get off
Yeah,
of Fortnite for once. Come on, man.
Greg, you're way too good at that game to play with us, man. We're
I'm
terrible.
not that good at this game.
You're not that good at this game. You have a stream where you play this game.
Says your clips that you post on Twitter there, bud.
The clips, I could never do half the stuff you do in these clips you post.
Yeah, but like it happens out of luck, man.
Yeah. Is Brian still here, or did he take his pants off and go somewhere?
No, I'm
So-
here.
So what's been your favorite moment since listening in? Do you have one?
Favorite moment? No. But the Jinder Mahal rants are always fun
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I support
because I am a Jinder mark. So
Why?
Yes.
Why?
What do you
Why?
mean why? Dude, the guy looks like $1 million. He's okay in the ring.
I bet you has a million pimples on his back too.
I
That's
know you
fine.
ain't serious.
That's fine.
That's
Oh.
not
I
fine.
am.
You
dead
cannot break the
serious.
wellness policy. You are not Roman Reigns. You can't do it
What
without
do you-
getting punished.
Look, Triple H has been breaking the policy for 20 years.
That's because he's allowed.
And he's running-
he's
and
married
he's running
to
the
he's
show.
married to Steph. He's allowed to do that.
Jinder's 100% clean, man. I don't know where you're getting this idea.
Horseshit. Horseshit.
They're all on the juice. Look at Cena. Look at Brock.
Yeah, but Cena
I mean,
doesn't have
come
like
on.
his pimples popping out of his back, everything. Because you know they do the
That's what
spin
I'm
around
saying.
thing with
Okay.
Jinder Mahal in his entrance, and then when they go to spin around his back, you can fucking play connect the dots if you hit pause on your TV screen.
I think the guy's pretty damn good. I don't know what you. I mean, way better
Damn
than
good. He used,
Nakamura walks around kicking people in the nuts.
he botched his
trash.
finisher twice on
Jinder
Nakamura.
Mahal has had better matches on the main roster than Nakamura has had since he's been
Oh,
up. Enough said.
stop.
Jinder-
No.
Nakamura has not
let's-
had one good
Let's
match. on the
settle
main
this.
roster.
Let's settle this here. Jinder, 1 title. Nakamura, no titles.
Yet.
Oh my
Done deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Done deal.
Corporate Kane, many titles.
Corporate
God.
Kane. Yes.
What titles is
man.
Corporate Kane? He hasn't won a title as Corporate Kane, okay? He won him as the
What?
Demon Kane.
He should have, yeah.
Operations. It's better than a
Yeah.
title.
But he didn't, so you can't
It's-
add him to
it is,
this. You cannot compare.
No,
Corporate Kane would have made a better world champion than Brock Lesnar. Come on.
I'm just gonna
Anyone
say this,
would
though.
have. A guy that shows up at least 5 times a year would have.
Like Jinder.
The
So,
referees
Jinder-
would have.
Jinder's there every night.
Okay,
I
so
was gonna say
yours
this,
is the
though.
gender rants. Okay,
I got
Greg,
a
know
phone
you've
call.
been
You
a
guys
long-time
argue.
listener. So what is? You've got to have something. You've probably listened to at least 80, 100 episodes.
All right. So I like it whenever you bring up James. Well, I liked it whenever you brought up James Ellsworth or
Yes.
Kyle's favorite superstar, The Big Show.
All right, that's enough. I'm back from my corporate
Yes,
phone call,
all
but okay, that's not. We're not getting into my favorite wrestler is not. Do you see? Does it say Paul White on my shirt? Does that say The Big Show Show? That wouldn't even make sense. That'd be a horrible T-shirt for a horrible
Captain
superstar.
He's got a Big Show plaque in his room that he doesn't want to show off to the camera.
Does he have a Captain Insano poster?
Oh my
No,
God,
nobody has a Captain
Insano.
Insano poster.
Yeah, I got that taped. I have it taped on VHS because it's my favorite moment from The Big Show. I love Big Show. Love when
No,
he's the
I like the
giant-
Big. I like the Big Show Boski the best when he came out with Val Venus.
The Big Show Boski.
Eating Big Show at Comic Con? Are we definitely doing that?
He's not
I
there,
think
is
Kyle
he?
needs- yes, he's gonna be at
I'm
Niagara Falls.
sorry,
Comic
Tiff. I'm
Con.
not going to Comic Con anymore. You guys can go inside. I'm staying outside. I'm not being in the same
It's
fucking
okay
building as
because
that guy.
I hear that Cappy's favorite superstar, Cassius Ohno, will be making a special.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Cappy's
Yeah.
favorite. We know deep down AJ Styles isn't the favorite. It's Cassius Ohno. You definitely have a couple of his basketball jerseys and plaques on your wall, Cappy. Don't lie to us.
You know you love that theme song, Cappy. You know you love that theme song.
I'd like to interrupt this show for another PSA of a moment of bliss.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
If you have bullies in your life like Glorious Greg,
man.
you can overcome them.
Let me play the smallest violin here.
But yes, that is the end of a moment of bliss. Thank you very much.
But just let us know because I know you got the Sports Collectibles YouTube channel now. We know you're gonna do the Cassius Ohno jerseys eventually, right? The each one of them on the wall. You're gonna do like a video of each one of how you got
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I'm definitely, or whatever Tommaso Ciampa called them. He called them the bench player on his men's pickup basketball team.
What?
Yep, he tweeted at him. It was great.
Oh yeah, they were like they had Twitter beef with each other.
Cassius Ohno just sucks ass. I have nothing else to say about that guy.
That's
Guy's
horrible.
off.
I
But
mean,
he's athletic though.
Oh no, get
Oh,
off
no.
my television every time I hear his theme song.
did you hear that from Cupid Girl there, Brandon? Or Corporate Cappy?
What
Sorry.
did
But he's
Hey, babe.
athletic though. He's great in the ring.
Just because
I mean,
he
I
wears
don't
a
understand
jersey
that.
doesn't make him athletic. He's
He is
horrible.
not athletic.
What about his attire at
whatsoever.
Takeover? He looked like a big fucking bumblebee. I'm like,
Again,
what the hell are you
I'm
wearing?
sorry. I'm sorry for bullying Cassius Ohno, but he is terrible.
But
Oh,
he had
no,
a great
indeed.
match with Johnny Gargano.
Anybody has a good match with that guy. Johnny Gargano is one of those guys that has a good match with anybody. And he's no Velveteen Dream. That guy's something.
Yep,
Oh god.
he is something. And so is EC3.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't get Tiff all hot and bothered now. That's all we need.
Like hot and bothered with Gargano and freaking Shane Thorne. That's it. The rest are all Cupid girls.
Shane Thorne. At least say somebody like Great Khali or something. You know what I mean?
Oh God! Why? Look at his chin.
He's the Punjabi playboy.
Help me, please.
Wasn't he a champion too?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh
but,
my
like, Shane
god.
Thorne,
Don't
he's
even.
big.
I already know where you went with that, Brian. Stop it.
I'm just saying. Another world champion.
He's been better than Nakamura.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna say Roman for a bit. Aren't you a Roman, Mark?
No.
No, that's not you.
Don't
No,
offend
it's
me.
our boy Juggy Badass. Wherever
Oh
he's
yeah, that's
been.
right. Yeah.
He's showing up 3 times a
See,
year
but-
like Brock Lesnar.
Let's just say I was a Roman Mark.
Oh.
What
Well, I'm
other?
glad- I'm glad you
wait.
put in the
What
was.
other superstar has NXT produced besides Roman Reigns?
Okay, that's enough out of you.
No,
Seth
let's just-
Rollins.
I'm saying from the ground up
Oh, from the ground
because
up.
Rollins.
I'm
was an
surprised you
RH
didn't
guy.
just say Jinder Mahal
Always-
because he literally was from the ground up.
Yeah, well, no. Jinder had the whole 3MD thing. And, like,
Braun
I'm just
Strowman
saying,
was from
straight
the
out of
Performance Center.
straight
Out of there.
NXT.
Braun Strowman.
Braun
But
Strowman.
he isn't.
He didn't go to
isn't
NXT.
Roman level, and he wasn't in NXT for like a cup of coffee.
Husky Harris.
Oh my god.
But let's
Bray
we're
Wyatt.
talking
Bray Wyatt.
superstar. We're talking.
What do you mean? What's
Roman
wrong
Reigns
with the?
and Bray Wyatt are not as much as I don't like Roman at all. I mean, come on, Roman is not. Bray Wyatt is not.
Well, they
Roman
failed
Reigns
with
level.
him because they don't know how to push someone obviously in the main.
No, I
roster.
agree. To me, Bray Wyatt, huge. You know,
Yeah.
push him to the moon. But I'm saying to the casual Joe down the street,
Yeah.
who else is bigger than Roman from NXT?
Can't think of the top of my head because they went all indie mode after that.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah.
like if you think about it, Rollins, Balor,
Yeah,
all these
Tyler
guys
Black.
are pre-made
Prince Devitt.
dudes. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
NXT has
yeah.
legit not made a superstar besides Roman.
Yes. What they've done, I think they've transitioned their popularity, the indies, into the WWE market and have expanded it. Like, not a lot of people
I would say
knew.
they got him
Well,
ready.
not a lot of
I mean-
people knew about Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen. Like, a lot of people knew about him, but not a lot of people know him. Now look what he is in WWE. They take his name, they rebrand it to their own, or they keep the same name and they make him bigger. So
Yeah, I agree. It's just kind of like back in the days with Flair going to WWE. Flair was big before that,
Mhm.
but who? My question is still who is
homegrown.
besides Roman?
Baron
homegrown
Corbin.
from
There we
NXT.
go.
Oh,
Baron
Jesus.
Corbin.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
from Baron Corbin.
I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss is the number one superstar that was built up.
What about Sasha Banks?
Well, she was in
She
the
was an
Indies
indie darling,
first.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Snoop's cousin, that doesn't count.
Oh,
stop.
shade,
All right,
I
shade.
said it.
Okay, I'd like to interrupt this podcast once again.
Oh, no, no more moment of bliss. That's it. That's enough
This is
of
my-
that. We're not doing that anymore.
I'm on 2 moments of bliss tonight. 2 moments of bliss.
Brian's just a caller with no pants on.
Anyways, before we go any further, I want to thank all you who are talking right now for joining into the trivia. Took you a little bit, Brian, but you got it. You got your
Kind
prize
of like
of plaque.
Nakamura.
Yeah, okay. You got your plaque. Goober Girl, you got your any NXT shirt you want to choose. Go to extremewrestlingshirts.com. Pretty easy website to navigate. Just let me know, and then I'll get it to you. You guys send me your shipping
Well, I think
information.
you already know who I want.
I know.
But
And
if he's
then-
not on there, because he's not a big enough superstar to be on there.
Oh, the
Okay.
shade.
Okay.
The shade just being
Back
thrown
up.
everywhere.
Don't even start with that.
Wait, I figured out my favorite moment when Kyle says Finn Balor.
Oh yeah.
Finn Balor. That was actually Kurt Angle that started that. I'm not
It was
taking
Kurt
any credit.
Angle that said it.
I
He
just
started mocking
repeat it
with
and then started mocking him, saying Finn Balor.
Stephanie
Don't forget
McMahon.
Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
Jinder
Jinder
Mahal.
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 Stephanie McRan.
I love Kurt Angle, but my God, is he ever illiterate? But yes, and Greg, you're getting your crate that was supposed to be sent out a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's literally been sitting in my. It's right over there. I can see it. It's literally been sitting in my back room, ready and shipped to go. Like it's already wrapped and everything.
Yeah.
I just
I wouldn't be
haven't.
surprised if there
forgotten
was
to
something
ship
that was
it.
expired in it.
There's no food. We didn't put any food in there,
I know,
or did we?
maybe.
No, there's no food in there, but we just is ready to go. I'm gonna go to the post office tomorrow, send all these out. We'll send the plaque out, and Greg your packages. But Tiffany's gonna wait till she comes up here, and I'll give her NHB mystery crate / welcoming committee gift. We'll call it that.
Oh God, the welcoming committee.
Another one of Kyle's favorites.
But fortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. This was an awesome episode 100. Thank all of you who are in here with me right now, and for joining in the chat and calling in. Really do appreciate it. 100 episodes of the Lowdown Show. Here's to another 100 more. I want to thank special guest, corporate host, Corporate Cappy, coming back for this one-time episode. Cappy, before we go, I want to let you plug your new venture before we get going. So I'll let you do that.
My new plug will be a moment of. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the moment of bliss anymore. No, you can follow me on Twitter at Breaks with Cappy, or you can follow or sub to me on YouTube at Cappy's Hobby Breaks and Collectibles. I'll put the link in the chat one more time.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who haven't subbed yet, sub.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find you. I have Google and GPS.
Like that.
Very demanding show. But anyways, guys,
And I will be doing giveaways on my channel as well when I get enough subscribers to make it worth it.
Oh,
So the more people that subscribe, the more giveaways I do.
You heard it here first, guys. So again, thank you, Tiffany from Dadass Podcast. Go check him out, guys. Subscribe to him on YouTube and Twitter as well. Thank you for calling in. Thank you, Cupid Girl 125, aka I won't break kayfabe. Just Cupid Girl 125. We got Beast for Awesome, Brian. Thank you for calling in as well. And Glorious Greg, as always. Happy Fortnite. That guy, if you guys are interested out there and you're listening and you're somehow interested into Fortnite, this guy is a Twitch gamer, so go check him out. Axe Gilly Gaming. Go check him out. He's got some sick stuff. We played with him. Really good gamer. He knows his shit. Really good Fortnite gamer. So go check out his
He's not a
stuff.
scrub like Kyle.
No, he's not. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I'm only good at building. Other than that, I'm useless. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in to the Lowdown Show 100 right here in No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. Your wrestling podcast that talks about NXT and No Holds Barred. Anything we say, pun intended. Follow the podcast on Twitter, No Holds Barred WP. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. And you can follow us on Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher. Also right here on YouTube.com/NHBWR. Hit the subscribe button, the bell icon for all upload updates. I'm Kyle Masters, and I'll see you guys next time.